Alan, I'd like to tell you a ghost story that would really raise the hair on your head. You know, my grandfather used to sit around the fireplace at night when we were all children and tell us ghost stories that would have us so scared we was afraid to go to bed. And this is one he used to tell us about something that happened to him in time of the Civil War. He was only 19 years old when he went into the Civil War, and he was detailed to wagon for the government. In other words, they hauled the provision for the soldiers. They had to come into the salt works there, to the what is known now as Saltville, to get food for the soldiers, and most of the time it was just rice and beans and things like that. And on one occasion he said he fed a half a bushel of rice to 2 mules. He said he was so tired of eating rice he thought he'd get rid of it, and he fed a half a bushel of rice to 2 mules, and it didn't kill him. So on one of these trips, he and 3 or 4 other fellas, it was a Blackwell, George Blackwell, and they called him Beery, was the nickname he had, and John Gallagher, and Jerome Phipps, and Jim Phipps, and Jim Broughton was the bunch of men that was with him on this wagoning detail. And he said they had drove all day with this stuff, and night came on. They always carried their quilts and things to bed down at night. And they came upon this little old log house that was empty, and they thought it would be a good idea to go in there and put their quilts down on the floor and go to bed. Start on the journey in the morning. So he said it was as clear as could be. The moon was shining as bright as day. And they went in, they made their bed down, and they all laid down, and they pushed the door to. They had one of these old-fashioned latches on the door, and they latched the door. And they hadn't been laying there for just a few minutes till the door, it began to hail. And it hailed and hailed. It was just as if it would tear the roof off the house. And the door came open. And one of the fellows says, Sam, I told you to shut that door. Didn't you shut it? He said, I most certainly did. Well, said, shut it again. Said he got up and he shut the door, and he put a big old block of wood that was there against the door. And they laid back down, and after a little while, and in the meantime, he went and looked out. He heard all this hailing. He looked out, and it was still clear moonshine. They lay back down, and after a little, this hail began again. And it poured and poured, just as if it would tear the roof off. And down comes the block of wood, and the door came open again. Well, they didn't know what to think. And Beardy Blackwell, he was a terrible fellow to swear. He said, damn it, Sam, I told you to shut that door. He said, well, I did shut it. And he got up and he said he passed his wheel. And he put something else in it. A big old piece of iron found laying around there somewhere. Now, the same thing happened. This hailing again. This door comes open. Well, he said they were all scared so bad. Didn't anyone speak a word. Didn't anyone get up. They laid there and they held their breath. And he said something, some great big object, black, come rolling, just rolling right up to the door. Rolled right into the door. And